Hi YouTube, it's me. Today I'll be doing a storyboard part.com tutorial. But first of all, I want to explain the importance of using storyboards during pre-production. So, why is storyboarding and why is it important? So, storyboarding is a very important process of pre-production. So, it's important so you can map out your ideas and the story will flow better, because without storyboard you won't be able to know what your story looks like. You could vision it in your mind, but I would say that you should jot down your ideas, jot down what the layout of your scene, so you know what your story looks like. So storyboards are an easier way to plan out different shots and different angles based on what it says in the script, and you can map out what the characters look like and where is it set. If it's set in the daytime, you can show what it looks like, you can illustrate it. And the most important part about storyboarding is that you can see potential problems. So what to include in your storyboard. So there are many things, but these are the ones that I felt that are important. Even though there's other stuff that you need to include, these are the ones that signifies what is happening and whatever. So the type of shot is needs to be included, so you know whether the scene is an establishing shot, a wide and a close up, or a close up. The location where the scene is set, because without a location, how are you gonna make a film about something? And the scene number, so you know what the scene number is. Some people do by shot number, like how they illustrate a scene with the amount of shots they need. And only if the shot is very technical. It's a very technical scene that needs to be done, so you do your shot numbers and that. And there's scene description, so you describe what's happening in the scene. Like, for example, a woman is waiting for a friend in the park. That is an example. And the shot duration, which is how long that scene will be, and so on. And if there's anything else you can think of, just put it down in the comments. So, examples of different storyboards. This one is sketched out, and it doesn't have a lot of annotation. It's mainly pictures. Some people do it like that, but they just tell you what happens, but it doesn't say anything about shots, how many shots are there. But it does tell you what's happening in each of those shots. So I do like it for that reason, because it's very, very visual looking storyboard. So this one says viral video storyboard, which is set, look like it's set in a park or like a seaside area, and it shows that different shots of, it's that detailed of each shot that's happening in that scene, basically. Like, and there's annotations, it's noting what is happening and what the shot looks like and that, and what's going to be in it, because that's what you need to include in your storyboard. And I just read this just now, modified due to location changes. So it's been modified. But some people do modify and change things up if they need to do. That's what why pre-production exists. so you can plan out properly and prepare. But I prefer the other storyboard because it's very visual. But this one does show step by step, like each shot, what's happening in that scene through those 8 shots. And this one's kind of like step by step of how the alarm is going to ring, or when it starts ringing and whatever. And yes, there's notes as well. There's a sketch. It's a bit like the first one and the second one. It's a bit like it's a cross mix between the first and second. If you can't, and there's one about Lilo and Stitch. This is done by a professional, Disney of course, because you can see Disney animations, and it's very, very visual, again like the first one, and it's easy to understand what's going on here. I think in animation, storyboarding is very important, so you know what the characters look like and you know how they look and what you want to include in it. Because with animation, it's very, this is 2D animation. It's like we do draw the animation and then try and film it by, I don't know, moving or something. There's some special software for that, but I'm not going to get into that today. But I haven't done that type of side, but I've seen 2D drawings being animated. And you can see what's happening, what's going on between these 2 characters. If you can't draw, then you can draw stick people. Like, it's quite, this one's very childish drawing, but it looks great. It does, it's very simple looking and it's very easy to understand. And yeah, this one is a more comic book type, because comic books, it's called Frostbite. I don't know if it's Marvel or DC or some other comic book company, or, but this one is very, very, very comic book. Most comic books use storyboards for illustrating different, that's how they tell stories through pictures, basically illustrations. And sometimes the action, you can see, they just tell you, like, it's a bit like a narration type thing. And then you have these visual words that pop out on some. And this is another comic book style storyboard as well. It's like a manga. But I'm gonna do a video about anime versus manga because people do get them confused, which kind of is strange in a way. I don't know how people get confused, but I'll do a video on that. But for the time being, this storyboard looks visual as well, and it's done by professionals, just like the previous comic book one. This one, if you can't be bothered to draw, or if you can't draw at all, then this one will suit you, will be suitable for you if you have computer software to use to create storyboards like this. This is more of like a video game type storyboard. So it's very visual as well. Illustrates each scene one by one, what's happening in them, so on and so forth. It's very video gamey. I think it's done through computer graphics software, but I don't know much about computer graphics. And it looks more video gamey to me. And this one is one of the best examples I found. I think this one is a very good example of illustrating, telling you each shot, and it tells you what's happening and whatever. And it's a video game style storyboard using computer graphics like the other one. It's very similar to the other one, but I think this one is more better in my eyes because it has everything you need in the storyboard, and you can see what they look like and so on. I think it's from Assassin's Creed. This storyboard, I'm not sure, but it looks like Assassin's Creed to me. A cheaper alternative if you don't have computer graphics software or storyboard software is this one. Like you can take photos of what's happening in your film. Or this is an alternative to computer graphics or computer software. And I think this one is not really that clear to be honest, but because I don't understand what's going on. It looks kind of experimental. I think that's what it is. And very artistic as well, and surreal. It's like surrealism type art. But I'm not sure what's going on. I think this one needs to be a bit more clearer in terms of the shots and what's happening, close-ups and whatever. There was a close-up over the wire, I don't know what's going on. Or whether it really tells a story. This one I found. This is the website I used to create my one, but this one's from an example that I found. I think this one is very detailed, but it's also very clear and precise, and it seems like someone made the efforts to illustrate well with the story. And it says animation by Jamara Brown. I hope she doesn't mind saying me saying her name, but I like the storyboard as well. It's detailed, but it's very clear and it's very easy to understand. It has everything you need in the storyboard, describing what's happening, what the scene is, what she's doing, and whatever. This one is my own storyboard because I didn't know how to draw. My teacher told me about this. It was my teacher who got me to use storyboard that. And I felt this one was very easy for me to use. You can put any pictures you want, and it's not very complicated. So I used this software, and it's very simple. It's not too hard or tricky. So I didn't know what the characters would look like in my film. This is from my film that I directed. It's one of my first. I think this is my first film I ever directed, and I didn't know what the characters would look like, but I illustrated it well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy watching this. Hopefully, we will get to do to the tutorial soon. I'll see you over there. Bye.